Welcome to Thelia, Flame Oracle. What the pyramids teach us about divine law and order, Ma'at. There are structures on this earth that have outlived empires, that have watched civilizations rise, fall, forget themselves, and return again. And when you stand before something like the pyramids, you are not just looking at stone. You are looking at order made visible. You are looking at Ma'at. Balance, truth, alignment, law. These were not just ideas to the people of that time. They were lived realities. They were the framework through which life was understood, measured, and sustained. And when they built, they did not build for a moment. They built for eternity. The pyramid itself is not random. It is mathematically aligned. It is positioned with intention. It is structured in such a way that even time has struggled to erase it. Thousands of years, and it still stands. So we have to ask ourselves, what kind of mindset creates something that lasts that long? Not a rushed mind, not a chaotic mind, not a distracted mind, but a mind that understands law, a mind that understands alignment, a mind that is willing to submit itself to something greater than impulse. And that is why it lasts. But let's go deeper. Because the pyramid does not just stand, it rises. And the way that it rises is not random. There is a slope, a measured slope. If we look at the Great Pyramid of Khufu, what we find is that its rise over its run, its vertical over its horizontal, forms a very specific ratio, a very specific angle, just over 51 degrees, not too sharp, not too shallow. Because if it were too steep, it would collapse under its own ambition. If it were too flat, it would never reach upward at all. So what we're looking at is a sustainable ascent, a rise that can be maintained, a climb that does not destroy the structure that holds it. And this is where the teaching begins. Because that slope is not just in the pyramid. That slope is in your life. That slope is in your body. That slope is in your becoming. Because you too are always moving between where you are and where you are rising to. And if you try to rise too quickly, too sharply without foundation, you collapse. Burnout, confusion, disorder. And if you refuse to rise at all, if you flatten yourself, dim yourself, stay where it is comfortable, you never ascend. So the question becomes, what is your slope? What is your rate of becoming? What is the angle at which your life can sustainably rise? Because Ma'at is not asking you to rush. Ma'at is asking you to align, to find that angle where your growth and your structure can exist together, where your expansion does not destroy your foundation, where your becoming is in harmony with your being. Now, I want you to imagine something. You are standing in a dark room, and there is a door that is slightly open. And through that opening, a sliver of light comes through. Not a flood, not everything all at once, just a line, a direction, an invitation. This is your observation deck. Because, like the pyramids were aligned to observe the heavens, you have been given your own point of view, your own angle of sight, your own window into truth. And the divine is not forcing you, it is inviting you. Look, align, move toward the light you can see. And when we look back at the pyramids, what we are really witnessing is what happens when human beings choose to align themselves with principles that do not decay. Truth, structure, balance, precision. And that is why it lasts. Now I want to take you somewhere else, beyond Egypt, beyond one place, because across this world, there are structures, temples, cities that carry a kind of beauty that feels almost eternal. And when we travel to these places, most of us go as observers. We take pictures, we look, we consume. But what if we became something different? What if we became spiritual tourists, where you do not just see with your eyes, you feel with your heart? You allow the architecture, the geometry, the harmony of what was built to speak back to you. Because that beauty, it did not come from nowhere. It came from human beings who were connected enough, aligned enough, disciplined enough to bring something eternal through themselves. And that same capacity is still within you, waiting. So when you move through this world, through places, through people, through experiences, do not just look, perceive. Let the harmony you witness awaken the harmony in you. Let the structure you admire inspire the structure in your own life. Let the beauty you feel remind you that there is something within you that also wants to be built to last. And as you bear witness to my light, as I stand here sharing this with you, I invite you, embrace your own slope, to turn toward it, to align with it, to walk it with intention, so that in time I may stand and witness you likewise. And if you found this message to be enlightening, revealing, or affirming of your own slope, then I invite you to go a little bit deeper with me. We're going to move into a 3-card spread, a reading centered around alignment, your current slope, and what is being built through you that is meant to last. So take a breath, settle in your body, and meet me there. If you felt the flame, it wasn't just a message, it was memory. This is Thelia, Dragon Seer, Phoenix born, voice unstolen, truth untamed. Leave only if your soul has had enough. But if you're still burning, come back. And remember, the dragons, they're always watching.